All right, guys, let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Crypto Corner with myself, OJ. Today, we're going to look at the markets. We do see finally some moves in the markets. Bitcoin right now, 71,300 as we speak. And then we have, I actually arranged them this time by volume rather than by market cap. We have Doge being second in volume today. I mean, not a very big jump. It's 1.20% up in the last 24 hours, only 3% up in the last week. However, it is actually trading more than Ethereum right now. Ether, as you can see, 23% up in the last month, is somehow not as appealing as Doge. I'm not really sure why this is. We know that we had the ETFs, the Ethereum ETF approved, so very soon it's going to start being traded. Perhaps this is when we're going to see a bigger move in Ethereum. But I'm going to look at the chart and we're going to find out what's happening. Also, we have Solana. Not really doing anything too much today, but it's 4%, almost 5% up in the last week, 10% in the last month. BNB, much bigger performance, almost 19% up in the last 7 days. And it is surpassing many of the other top coins. Another one that is surpassing is Ordinals. You can see here 34% up in the last 7 days. Very good performance from Ordinals. It's one of the strong coins in my portfolio. I'm very happy to see this performance. Also Pepe. In terms of meme coins, Doge and Pepe are actually having a lot of volume right now. Pepe is up 10% in the last week, 76% up in the last month, guys. And then another one of the meme coins, Floki, is up 79% in the last month, 32% up in the last week. Very good performance from Floki as well. A lot of money is going into meme coins, but it's not going to be for long. You know that many of the other coins are going to catch up very soon. I'm expecting that as Bitcoin breaks above its resistance, we're going to look at the chart in a minute. As it breaks above resistance, it's going to pull the whole market with it. But first, I expect Bitcoin to be taking the lead. And then after that, altcoins are going to catch up. We're going to check this out. But first, let's roll the intro. Alright guys, now let's start the show. Welcome to another episode of Crypto Corner with myself, OJ, crypto analyst and investor since 2016. Now I'm gonna go into the charts of Bitcoin. I'm also gonna look at Ethereum. And today the altcoin of choice that you requested in the previous comments was Kaspa. So today's altcoin will be Kaspa. In the next video, we'll be looking at some other altcoins, so make sure to drop comments, let me know which ones you want. But first, a quick note about a new project that I'm very excited about. It's called BlockDAG, and it is quickly emerging as a key player in the crypto market. It's driven by cutting-edge technology and strategic developments. This is why I'm featuring it today. It's inspired by Bitcoin and Kaspa, and it is the world's most advanced Layer 1 blockchain, which is why I'm excited about it and why it's in my watch list. It's got a cutting-edge proof-of-work algorithm that delivers super high speed and unbeatable security, but most of all, decentralization. It can power everyday applications to enterprise-grade DeFi protocols and with the power to mine from anywhere. So it makes crypto mining very simple and for everyone, which is why I'm so excited. The team released an updated white paper version 2, and that explains how its directed acyclic graph technology differentiates it from traditional blockchains by solving scalability issues effectively, and scalability being the biggest hurdle to many blockchains as they grow in popularity is a major focal point for innovation in this space, and BlockDAG is coming up with some practical solutions, which is why the project is seeing a lot of interest and mainly investors' appetite right now. Presale prices have surged from 0.001 cent in batch 1 to the current batch 17, where it's 0.011 cent to the dollar. It's a potential 500% return for early investors. So this is very impressive presale figures, and they raised $19.3 million and another $2.2 million from minor sales. Its market value is increasing steadily, reflecting strong investor confidence and demand. And it's been featured in major publications like Yahoo Finance, CryptoNews.com, DailyCoin.com, and AMB Crypto, to name a few. The project's roadmap and future outlook are equally promising as the team works on enhancing the infrastructure and their ecosystem. I mentioned mining, because one of their flagship products is in fact their X100 miner, which is high in demand and it delivers steady profits on a daily basis. At launch, it was recorded to bring about $100 daily rewards. It's an exceptional ASIC technology that offers superior hashing power and energy efficiency with high-yield results, which is setting a new standard for mining. And right now, their team just released a new keynote video with the latest developments explaining how you can create dApps on their network. You can deploy all kinds of applications that developers come up with, benefiting from accelerated prototyping and reduced development time, which enables even non-developers to create dApps, which is great for those like me who are not programmers. The simplicity of this makes it open to everyone, and I'm here for it. They also go through their rewards and halving structure in the video and their miner devices. This is very insightful for those who want to mine crypto from home. I should point out here that the products they have in their arsenal are the X1 miner, which is a mobile app for those who want to make use of their smartphones to mine crypto. It's of course not the most powerful mining method, as they have superior devices like the X10, which is a compact device for entry-level miners. It's generating 100 megahashes per second with minimal energy consumption of 40 watts. It offers daily earnings of up to 200 BTC. This is their token. Then there's the X30, which is an upgrade which goes a step further with triple the power, 280 gigahashes per second and consuming 220 watts of power. And it can also mine Bitcoin and Kaspa. But the X100 is the one that makes the most profit, of course, and it's currently their biggest seller, with an impressive hash rate of 2 terahashes per second, and it consumes a modest 1800 watts. The X100 is designed for high-performance mining. Its daily earnings can reach up to 2000 BTC, and using the SHA-256 algorithm, the X100 can also mine Bitcoin and Kaspa. It's engineered to adapt seamlessly to diverse settings while effectively managing noise output, and of course, it's very high in demand. I'll drop the link in the description below for you to check it out. They also have a crypto payment card. This is another product. You can manage your digital assets and everyday expenses wherever you are, and also paying with the card or cashing out from any ATM. It's a really convenient way to have and to be able to spend your crypto instantly whenever you choose. Their mainnet launch is just around the corner, so now is a very good time to place this on your radar. In fact, I will do a detailed video about BlockDAG and I will explain all about it. So watch out for this deep dive video. It's coming next week. So you can see why I'm into it and why I think it's worth your investment. In the meantime, you should watch this latest keynote they released to just get a better idea about BlockDAG and their products. And you can take part in their giveaway as well. It's your opportunity to win a share of their huge $2 million prize pool and a chance to be one of the 50 winners. All you have to do is engage with their network, complete as many tasks as you can, and boost your chances of winning with bonus entries for each friend that you bring on board. You have to participate in the BlockDAG's presale, of course, in order to qualify. So make sure that you hold at least $100 worth of BTC tokens, which is a really low threshold, in my opinion, and really affordable and achievable. I will remind you of this in my upcoming episodes. Now, let's move on to the chart of Bitcoin first, and then I'm going to look at Ethereum and Kaspa. All right, well, let's first start with the 4-hour chart, and then we're going to go into the bigger time frames. So last time I was drawing this, we had just broken out of this resistance, and we were coming down to retest the support. I said most likely we're going to bounce from here and go on the upside. This is already happening, so I can remove this line here. And another thing that we did very successfully is to break from this resistance. So in the shorter time frame, in the 4-hour, we were forming this resistance as we challenged it a couple of times and we failed to break. Third time lucky. So we managed to break it. Now, of course, we are going higher. And what are the targets? Let's find out. Let me clean up the chart first. And now I'm going to draw a quick Fibonacci level here. First, on the upside. what can we expect? Well, as you can see, we are currently at a resistance, and we got rejected from that resistance, so we have a minor pullback. This is on the shorter time frame, so it's not really anything to worry about. And then we have the next target, which is at 72,900. The following target is 73,500, and then my third target would be 74,300. Ultimately, 77,000 is the target for this move. Before I expect any bigger rejection, any bigger correction, perhaps we're going to break above these three targets kind of easier, and then we're going to find it a little bit more difficult to break the 77K. And most likely we are going to consolidate between this range here, which would be 74,000 and 77,000. I expect a bit of consolidation between these two levels before we shoot up and we go towards the 80K. In fact, it's 79,000, which is the next resistance. So this is on the way up. Let's find out in the short term what's happening on the way down. Let's take the most recent low to the most recent high, and we do have a possibility of going to 70,500. The lower support is at 69,800, and we do have the 0.50 Fibonacci level sitting at 69,200, so 279. So if we are to see a bigger correction here, 69,300, 69,200, around this level is where I expect us to bounce from. And at the same time, we do have the 50th moving average at this level. So typically we pull back to the 50th moving average, we find support there, and then we go on the upside again. We take the next leg up, as I say. It's possible that we go there. If you're waiting for any buy orders or anything like that, it makes sense to actually place them around this level. Of course, don't try to place them exactly at 69,300. You can start at 69,500, 69,800, because we are not guaranteed that we are going to touch the 50th moving average. It's going to pull us, but it doesn't mean that we actually have to go there. Not at this point. We could go to the 50th moving average later on, but by that point, it would have moved on the upside as well. So I personally expect that around 69,700, 800 and 69,500 are decent buy levels if you're waiting to buy. Now, looking at the daily chart, we did print a 22% correction during the last drop, and this is now over. We printed this inverted head and shoulders pattern. I spoke about this in my previous analysis, and now the next challenge is to actually break out of this range. As you see, we've been trading between this range for quite some time, and it would make sense that as we gain momentum right now, we can break above this range, and as we do that, we are going to open the door for the 80K. So this is what I'm looking on the daily. We see that we still have some room to go higher in the RSI. Stochastic RSI is already getting slightly in the overbought region. We are any moment now we're going to enter severe overbought region, so we can see 69,700 or 800. I am quite confident in that, but this is in the short term. As you see, the 50th moving average on the daily is currently sitting at 67,000. So a deeper pullback could actually go to that level. Although right now I see a lot of bullish momentum, so I'm not really convinced that we are definitely going to 67K. If we look at the markets, we have this bullish cross on them. Also they're on the lower end, so we still have a lot of room for them to go higher, indicating that the price can actually go up here, perhaps opening the door to really break out from this range. And it's been a range that's been going on for quite some time, since March. Since 13th of March, we've been trading between this range. So it is about time that we break above it. And I don't really see any scenario where we break below it. We've already tried a couple of times. We went as low as 57K. This was really the bottom of this short-term correction. So I don't really see any case for us to be going any lower than 67K. Even 67, if we touch it, it will be very brief. It will be very lucky for those who manage to scoop Bitcoin around this price. And most likely we are not going to go there. Most most likely we are going to bounce from the 9th moving average, which is sitting at 69,800. And as you saw on the shorter time frame, it was coinciding with Fibonacci levels as well. So this is really the level that I'm expecting for us to retest and bounce from here on the upside. All right, now let's look at Ethereum. And first I'm going to look at Ethereum against USD Tether. This is USD on Coinbase. And then I'm going to look at Ethereum against Bitcoin, because for me this is the more important chart. Okay, let's start with the 4-hour chart on Ethereum, and then I'm going to go into the bigger time frame. This is Ethereum against the dollar, and as you can see, we've been forming this upwards trend line for some time, and we are respecting it so far. Mind you, this is the smaller time frame, so we've been forming it since 21st of May. It's not been that long, but so far we are respecting this trend line. Every time we come to test it, we bounce on the upside from there. So at this point, it does not look like we are going to be breaking on the downside anytime soon. However, we see that stochastic RSI is in the overbought region. It's now slightly starting to drop. So, you know, further minor correction here, further pullback is to be expected. And we do have the 50th moving average sitting on 3,792. So 3,800 pretty much. This is as much as I expect us to drop, if we are to drop any lower. But we look bullish. As you can see, the volume is going down as the price is going down. This is a bullish indicator. So a minor pullback here, and then continuation of the upwards momentum, which is very good. However, I want to look at Ethereum against Bitcoin, because this is the more important chart. But before that, let me quickly look at the daily. And here what we can see is that pendant formation, which is a bullish one. This is a continuation pattern, so I'm expecting a break on the upside from here. We also see that stochastic RSI is in the oversold region. It's now just coming out of the oversold region, so a lot of room for it to be going on the upside before we have to worry about a pullback or correction. But we are going quite far from the 50th moving average, and as you know, it acts as a magnet. As we go quite far from it, it will start pulling us. So even though it's going on the upside, I'm expecting sooner or later for us to actually come closer to that 50th moving average. It will be short term, of course, but as you can see here, we did go far apart from it. And very soon after that, we had this pullback that took us all the way to the 50th moving average. And then we were quite close to it until we managed to even break below it. And as we broke below it, we went bearish for a little bit. So this is always happening, you know, it goes in cycles. So right now we are going far apart, we are going upwards. As we get even higher and moving even more far from the 50th moving average, it's going to pull us. At some point, I'm expecting perhaps the 4,000 to be our resistance. It makes sense. It was also a resistance previously. Let me just draw it here. As you can see, this was back in March that we touched this level and we got rejected. So now we're going to test it. We're going to challenge it. Most likely we are going to get rejected on the first attempt, and we're going to have a pullback that will take us slightly closer to that 50th moving average, which is also moving on the upside. So it's not going to be a major pullback. And then after that, I'm expecting that we will break. But let's take a look at Ethereum against Bitcoin, because this is more important. And we actually tried to break above this resistance line. As you can see, we failed again. We were holding above it for a few days. This is on the daily chart, so we're talking about a week moving above it, but we didn't really manage to stay above this trend line, and we fell back below it, which is not good news, unfortunately. The good news right now is that we have the stochastic RSI here in the oversold region, indicating, and it's starting to cross any moment now. It's going to start moving on the upside. So we do have another chance of breaking above this trend line. And it's very important that we break and stay above this trend line, because a few times now we are making these attempts and we are failing to stay above it. And we are falling again below it. I really want to see Ethereum go to above 0.058 and even 0.060, which is a resistance for us, a major resistance now. And we haven't actually managed to break above this level in quite some time, since September last year. As we dropped below this level, we've been trending below it. So not good news for Ethereum holders. I know that most of the people were looking at Ethereum against dollar, But that's not really the bigger picture. You have to look at it against Bitcoin, because if you're holding money in Ethereum, you have to ask yourself, is it better to be in Bitcoin or Ethereum? And for the moment, it's been this whole year, it's been better to be holding Bitcoin rather than Ethereum. And I'm expecting that with the ETF starting to trade in a couple of weeks, things might change and Ethereum might see some decent accumulation here and price appreciation. But unless Ethereum goes above 0.06, I'm not interested. And I do hold some Ether, but I'm now looking for exit points. For me, if as we approach 0.06, if the price action is weak, if I don't see enough volume, and if it's not a strong break above this level, I will exit my Ether and I will move back into Bitcoin, because it seems that during this cycle, Ethereum is performing much worse than what it did during last bull cycle. Typically, Ethereum outperforms Bitcoin. If Bitcoin does 200 or 300%, Ethereum would do double of that, 600, 700%. This time, Ethereum is really lagging behind Bitcoin. It's not worth holding it. And lastly, as promised, let's look at Kaspa. It's actually decent performance, even though Kaspa has been at this level in February, and it got rejected from this level. So we haven't really been doing that much since February. We were going through a correction, and it was quite a deep correction, to be honest. Let's see exactly what it was. 47%. 47% correction. But the good news is for those who managed to buy Kaspa during that correction, especially, in these lows here when it was at around 11 cents, they are seeing now around 60 or more percent jump, 80% jump, in fact, since then. So for those who are buying Kaspa around these levels, and you know that Kaspa is one of the tokens that I have a large stash from. It's a big bag that I'm holding of Kaspa because it is quite a good project. However, I'm holding it from last year. I was buying it down here at around 4, 5, and 6 cents. So I was quite comfortable holding it throughout this correction. But if you were accumulating Kaspa, back in April, then very good for you, because you're seeing now 80% jump. Far more than what Bitcoin did, and far more than what Ethereum or many of the other altcoins did. So, of course, some of the meme coins did some crazy pumps again. This season, it seems to be very much a meme coin season, but it's not going to be forever. We are going to see the other coins also pick up, especially if Bitcoin breaks above the range that is currently trading and starts pumping. It will push the whole market with it. Make no mistake. Bitcoin will be first and altcoins will catch up. So don't despair. If you're holding altcoins, they will catch up. However, we have to point out that this cycle is not really that much about the altcoins. Besides meme coins and some AI coins that did really well, DPIN did very well, RWAs are doing well, not right now, but generally are doing well. Overall, we are seeing, some movement, but Bitcoin with the ETFs, this cycle was far more about Bitcoin so far than the altcoins. Sooner or later, we're going to get a decent out season, but it's not yet. I feel that right now we are still looking for Bitcoin to pull the whole market. So Bitcoin will be doing the major moves over the next few weeks, and then altcoins will be catching up. Now let's look at some targets. First of all, we're going to look at some targets on the way down, because as you see, stochastic RSI is in the overbought region. It's making this bearish cross here, so it's going to start dropping, and it has to go in that blue region here. So as it does that, what is the price going to do? Well, let's see where are our Fibonacci levels from the most recent low to the most recent high. We see that the 0.50, which is, very often we actually go and we pull back to that 0.50 Fibonacci level. This is currently sitting at around 14 cents 80. So this is pretty much what I'm expecting from us to do, and then bounce on the upside. We do have the 50th moving average coinciding with the golden Fibonacci level at 0.618. This is at 13 cents 70. So this is also a possibility. A lot of the times we actually go and we retest this level, the golden Fibonacci level, and it's coinciding with the 50th moving average. But I don't expect a very sharp drop. And of course, if this drop takes a few days, maybe even a week or so, this moving average will move on the upside. And then we're really looking at the 0.50 rather than the golden Fibonacci. So 0.50 is sitting at 1480, 1490. So call it 15 cents. Pretty much this is as much as I expect us to drop. And to be honest, with this bullish sentiment right now, the 0.382 Fibonacci level is really the most likely pullback, and this is coinciding with the 9th exponential moving average, and it is 16 cents. So this is a decent support. I don't really expect us to be breaking that support. The most likely scenario for me is this one here. As we drop and we retest this support, we bounce on the upside from here. If it doesn't hold, then the 0.50 is in play. But the most likely scenario again for me is that we are going to bounce from this level here. So 16 cents. This is the pullback that I'm expecting in Kaspa, and then continuation on the upside. All right, well, this wraps up today's episode of Crypto Corner. Thanks for staying until the end of the video. If you like this content, let me know. Show your support, leave a like and also a comment below. In the follow-up episodes, I will be doing some technical analysis on some other altcoins. So let me know which ones you're interested in. And don't forget to check out the links in the description below, where I drop the links to everything I talked about, and some other links. My free newsletter also is there. So if you want to join my email list and get my free newsletters, once a month at the beginning of each month, I publish my newsletters where I talk about the current state of the market, and I give you some market insights and some other analysis that doesn't really make it into the videos. So it is different content to what you're going to find in the videos, and it's worth subscribing. It's a free newsletter. Also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to this channel. My content is free. All of my content is always free. And also hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting a new video. Next week I'm doing a proper deep dive on BlockDAG so that you are more familiar with this project and find out why exactly I'm adding it to my basket of coins, and I'm so excited about it. So definitely do not miss this video. Until then, make sure to check out some other videos on my channel. I'll see you there.